every time I get an email like the one that I'm about to share with you, I kind of get a little bit emotional. First, I get pride and a sense of honor that I get to play a part in somebody's life, like I'm about to share a little bit of Ned's story. And then the second thing that gets me emotional is I hate the way that sometimes life makes us feel. And that kind of sounds victimizing, and I don't mean it that way, but you get put into a situation and it's uncomfortable. And then I didn't put this part up on my Facebook when I shared about this a couple of days ago, but I get frustrated that I didn't get in front of somebody earlier. So if the podcast, if Exit Strategy, if my blog, if something of mine has helped you, share that with somebody, because you're going to get an email from somebody and they're going to be like, man, I wish you had shared this with me sooner. And you're going to think, man, I wish I had shared this sooner. So I'm going to go through what I shared on Facebook real quick and we'll go into Ned's message. But when I set out to write Exit Strategy, I had no intentions or expectations that my book would help so many people in the ways that it has. And many of you have emailed me and said, hey, it's Monday morning and it's 6:45 and I'm sitting out here not wanting to go into the office. So you guys know what I'm talking about. And that frustrates me and gets me emotional too, because I remember how bad I felt, and the fact that you feel the same way, that makes me kind of sad. But if you want to know why I promote my products and services so much, maybe it's a little bit too much, maybe it's not enough, I don't know, maybe you're sick of it, but it's just because of emails like the one that I'm about to share with you. And I don't know Ned. I don't know how he found me, found my blog, found my book. I don't know, Ned, if you listen to the podcast. So I don't know Ned. I don't know you, Ned, but I do know how you are feeling when you wrote this email. But if you're listening to this, please, not just Ned, by the way, everyone listening to this, please start working on your exit strategy. Please don't settle for it'll get better. Just wait around, which is what my managers would have to tell our floor every quarter, because things just kept getting worse. And they told us that for 18 freaking months. Don't settle for it will get better. And please don't undervalue what you have to offer. You're better than you think you are, and anything that I've done, you can do too. Remember that. So this is the email that I got last night. I don't know, like 8:30, 9 o'clock. And it's from Ned. And he says, Ellery, I'm ready to start part 2 of Exit Strategy. He responded to the receipt that I had sent him. So he says, I'm ready to start part 2, and I'm really getting a ton out of the book. 6 days ago, I was part of a 480-person layoff from my company, so I can relate to your book even more. I have been in business for almost 10 years. I have an e-commerce business where I build and sell traditional archery bows, longbows, and recurves. And currently, I am replacing anywhere from 25% to 60% of my income on a quarterly basis. After I read your book, I'm hoping to take my business to full-time over the next year. Here's my website. Thanks, Ned. And that, it starts off sad, but Ned is obviously doing something right where he's already replacing his income, and he's making that, I've talked about this with some guests in the past and on other shows, where we would like the entrepreneurial transition to go from like a light switch, on and off the business on to our own business. And it's a dimmer switch. And I'm glad to know that Ned has made that transition, and he positioned himself to where, unlike me, where his layoff, I got fired, not laid off, but our exit of the company was not devastating for him like I thought it would be for me. If you want to make that transition, or maybe you made that transition a while ago and you're struggling to get results, I want you to write this URL down. I just released this yesterday. You might see it popping up in your Facebook news feed, but I had a mastermind call last Thursday, and it was awesome. These 4 entrepreneurs have made over $20,000 in just the last 3 weeks. These are guys like you. So one told me he's turning 33 in a couple months. One guy's turning 34 in a couple months. Actually, I think they're all in their early 30s, except one guy who is probably late 40s. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Just for the sake of saying that these are average guys, not all of them have kids. Not all of them are homeowners. One lives in Texas. 2 live in Texas. One's in a completely different state. Some of them have been in business for a while. Some of them kind of got started just in the last few months. And they're making some pretty good money, but they're doing stuff. They are making some major changes in their life and doing a lot of little things over a long period of time. Anyway, go to ElleryWells.com/results. ElleryWells.com/results. I want you to watch the full video. It's 23 minutes. Oh, get over it. It's 23 minutes out of your life. You're going to watch more freaking cat videos. This is going to be the best video that you watch today. I can guarantee it. ElleryWells.com/results. Okay, let's go into the content of today, which is, surprise, surprise, where to go. 8 emails that will help you build rapport. 8 emails that will help you connect with your customers and clients, what to write in those emails, how to say it, and how to build your connections. I'm going to throw up an intro, but before I do that, what I'm sharing with you, I didn't necessarily do this while I was at Dell, but I did do these things instead of email. I did them over the phone, and they helped me exceed a quota every single quarter, except for, or how we were measured in halves, every single half except for, I think 1, maybe 2 in the several years that I was at Dell. So listen up, and here's the intro. I'll be right back. I'm not one of those entrepreneurs who gave up their 6-figure salary and fancy office to start a business, and I wasn't selling lemonade to my neighbors when I was 7. I wasn't born an entrepreneur, and I never laid awake at night dreaming of owning my own business. My name is Ellery Wells, and I was forced to make a decision. Welcome to the Ellery Wells Show, where we talk with real entrepreneurs about real problems that they're facing and real solutions on how they are overcoming obstacles, achieving their goals, and making a difference in the world. If you're an entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur, this is the place to be to help you start, build, or grow your business. A good email is a powerful tool in the hands of a qualified salesperson. Used properly, email can bring in thousands of dollars of revenue, or it can really tank your business if it's used incorrectly. And it can tank your career faster if you've ever replied all and sent something stupid. I did that once. This is a bonus. I thought I didn't know there was a vendor when I was at Dell. I didn't know there was a vendor or a third-party reseller that was on the email chain, and I replied all thinking I was just replying to my teammates, and I said something to the effect of, hopefully this will go well and so won't screw it up this time. And they replied back apologizing and saying they're going to do better. Whoops, but it got the point across. Anyway, email is a powerful tool, and I want to show you some types of emails that you can send to your customers, to your subscribers, to connect with people around the world. So 2 years ago, when I only had a couple of hundred people on my email list, and I was using MailChimp, now I use ActiveCampaign, then I was sending over 1,000 emails per month. You know, if you send 10 emails, that's a few a week. You know, an onboarding series, if you have 100 people on there, you can get to 1,000 emails pretty easily, which, by the way, that's why you don't need to be using Gmail or Yahoo or whatever for your emails. But today, I'm sure that number is well over 10,000 emails. I actually don't know, but it's probably it's well into the 5 figures. And I know some businesses that send hundreds of thousands of emails every single month. Some of them probably send 1 million or 2 emails, but I'm not there yet. But as they say, what counts is quality, not quantity. and I mostly agree. While I'm sure we agree that the quality of your emails is more important than the quantity you send, there's still a lot of question about what makes up a quality email. And a lot of people have asked me, a lot of them in my masterminds and coaching clients, and I don't get a whole lot of emails about this, but my clients have asked, what types of emails should I send my subscribers? And since that question has come up several times, and because I've wondered the same thing myself, I thought I would share some of the types of emails that I've sent that have gotten some great responses. And I came up with this list, and I talked about it a little bit in Exit Strategy, but I've also noticed the types of emails that I get from people who are really successful marketers. Noah Kagan from Sumo Me, which is now Sumo. I looked at the types of emails that he sends. I get emails from Thrive Themes. I used to get a boatload of emails from Digital Marketer, and I just didn't even have time to read them all. And I also did some studying of what Russell Brunson talks about in .com Secrets. Anyway, if you want to get better results with your email campaigns, I've got some resources that have also come from these. So if you go to elleryWells.com/rapport, now I'm going to spell that because I spelled it wrong the first time. It's Rapport, Rapport. You can see a list of the emails or the other blog posts that I have written to help you succeed with email, because email is a big part of your business. So here's what I wrote. Better emails, better results. 7 ways to promote your event. One of them is, by the way, spoiler alert, email. How to get better results with your email marketing campaigns. 6 reasons you shouldn't automatically add people to your email list. How to get your emails into the inbox. And in episode 63 of the Empowered Podcast, why the experts say the money is in the list, with email marketing expert Ben Kruger. But let's go ahead and dive in, because the topic of email marketing is a hot topic. I mean, I write about things that I get questions about, and each one of those posts I know came as a result of something that either went well and I wanted to share it, or it didn't go well and I wanted to also share it, and why you shouldn't be doing whatever went wrong. But because people still ask me for information, for suggestions, I write blog posts about it. So if you send emails as part of your role within your company, here are a few types of emails that you should be sending to build rapport with the people on the receiving end. And whether you are an entrepreneur or a salesman new to a territory, these emails will help your clients get to know, like, and trust you, which will ultimately lead them to being more open to buying from you. So if you want to do what I did when I was at Dell, and you want to pick up the phone and have these same conversations with people, you can be my guest, but stop selling and use connection building emails and conversations to start building your real business. But let me tell you two tools that you should be using to check your emails. The first one is Grammarly. Guys, go to ellerywells.com/Grammarly. It's an affiliate link, but you can download it's 100% free forever, a free tool for your Chrome browser that'll check all of your grammar in everything that you write. Sometimes it can be annoying, like when you're writing a Facebook page update or whatever, but it has saved me from saying something stupid. And then, like I mentioned before, I use ActiveCampaign, ellerywells.com/ActiveCampaign, also an affiliate link. But since I only promote products I use and like and use myself, it is what it is. Okay, the first type of email is the who email. No, we're not talking about the brand. It's a joke I made to myself. When it comes to buying and selling, we all want to know who we're talking to and who we are hearing from and who we are going to be working with. In your who email, or again, if you're wanting to pick up the phone, tell people who you are. Share your interests, give some insights into your family and what you do for entertainment. I remember one of my customers, she lived in South California. I wanted to keep saying Carolina. Maybe it's because I heard news about the basketball game. Anyway, before we got down to business and she was a multi-million-dollar a year account, we would talk about how she was remodeling her bathroom. I mean, just these fun things that's what stands out in somebody's mind. I don't know what they bought. I can sort of remember her email address because I emailed her all the dang time, but I remember that kind of conversation. And sharing your personal information might seem weird to you at first, but I promise sharing about who you are will bring in more sales and help you grow your business. Before your customers can like and trust you, they have to know you, and that begins with knowing who you are. The second type of email is the what email. Salespeople often assume their prospects know what they are trying to sell. Salespeople also assume that clients are aware of every product or service available to them. In both cases, if that's you would be wrong. And in both cases, salespeople are wrong if they assume those things. Letting people know what you do and what you have to offer is the first step in growing your business and making a lot of sales. And a lot of salespeople fail at this. I did. So when I told you if you assume this, you would be wrong, that was me. While on a mastermind call a few months ago, I asked my clients if they were aware that I also did one-on-one coaching. And only half of the people said yes. What? I'd failed to let my clients know about the other services I offered and what else I could do for them. And as you can imagine, I kind of felt like an idiot. What do you mean you don't know that I do one-on-one coaching? It was just kind of ridiculous. So I'm not perfect either. So let's move forward together. So the what emails can also be further divided into two subsets. So first subset, what you do. Second subset, what clients can expect. So what you do. Don't just tell your subscribers and your client list what you sell. That information should be on your website somewhere. Someone replied to me an email and I was like, do you still do your business? He's like, yeah, I took that off my website for a while. What are you talking about? That's stupid. Share your approach to your problems. Talk about how you help your clients. Don't just sell your products. Share what makes you different from other salespeople and from your competitors. All of these what things. So those, I use the word how there, but change your head from what to how. So instead of talk about how you help your clients, talk about what you do differently to help your clients. And again, don't just sell your products. Share what makes you different. What are the things that make you unique? But here's a pro tip. Don't just share what you do well. Let people in on your weaknesses, like I kind of just did, and they will like you that much more because they know they know they can trust you. And I don't know who said this, and I can't remember the exact quote, but it was something to the effect of, if they don't believe your truth or if they don't believe your weaknesses, they'll never buy your products or buy your successes. If they never believe your failures, they're never going to buy your successes. Something like that. Be transparent, open, and honest, and share your weaknesses, because once you do, people will be more likely to trust you because they'll feel like you're a real person. So the second subset is what clients can expect. Set expectations. When entrepreneurs and business owners sign up for my email list, I send them a list of what they can expect from me. When people join one of my mastermind groups, one of the first things I send them is a welcome packet. And in that packet is a section for expectations, both what I expect from them and what they can expect from me. So a what email, maybe you send 2 or 3 of those, and one of them is an expectation setting email. The next one is the when email. Are you seeing a trend? It's kind of a who, what, when, where, and why. We're taking some liberties on that, but if you've picked up on that, that's kind of the basic structure. But as with the what emails, the when emails can cover a variety of things as well. So feel free to get creative. Send an email letting people know when you are open for business and people can walk by and stop by your store. Send an email to tell people when you got started or when you began your business. Tell people when they can expect your emails, or when they're going to celebrate, or when they can celebrate with you your 20th business anniversary. People like that kind of stuff, and they mark their calendars, and all of that. If you do there's a golf place up here in Georgetown called the Golf Ranch, and every Thursday, first Thursday, one of the Thursdays in the month, I don't know, they do a customer appreciation dinner, and there's lasagna usually, and they do raffles and all that kind of stuff. But that's a win email. That's kind of cool. So the next one is the where email. It sounds like werewolf, but it's where email. One of the emails I send my community is a where I will be email. And I sent this out just a couple of weeks ago. But I love getting to meet my clients in person, but it's rare that I get to do so. I don't get to meet listeners all the time. I think if you are a long-time listener, you might have heard me talk about the first time I was recognized in public. That was by someone who listened to my podcast, and we were in Las Vegas for New Media Expo, and that was pretty freaking cool. But it doesn't happen all that often. So by letting people know where I will be and when, a combination of the two, pro level, we can get together for dinner, drinks, or a meetup. You could also send a where email to let people know where you will deliver or ship your products. I'm only doing the exit strategy promo where? In the continental United States, because shipping is just astronomically expensive. Tell people where you're going to hold your next event or where other companies have featured you. If you've developed a new partnership, say, hey, we got a new partner in Canada or something like that. Again, get creative. The why email. I studied psychology in college because I wanted to know why people behave the way they do. Children always want to know why things happen a certain way, and wanting to understand why things happen is just human nature. And when you can supply an answer, you're giving people something that they need. Let your clients in on the secret and tell them why you got into your line of work. Share why you started your business or why you choose to do this instead of that other thing. If you broke your previous sales record, if you had record-setting revenue numbers, you could talk about what you did and why you did something different this time. If you canceled a product line or service, talk about it. Tell people why. If you partnered with another business or invested in new research, sharing why would be a great way to build rapport. All right, the how email. In my book, Exit Strategy, I share the story about how I visited the Tabasco factory in Louisiana. And while on this tour, I learned how they pick the peppers and why some, but not all peppers, are chosen and how they make their world-famous Tabasco sauce. Here I am 10 or more years later, and I still remember. No, they did not give away the exact recipe. So if you're thinking that for your business, like, oh, I don't want people to know how I'm going to do it, well, you're already behind the curve, and you don't have to give away the secret sauce. Just give them like most of it, or how you make higher quality products, or how you are discriminatory in what you choose for ingredients or what you don't choose for your ingredients. How you do business is what sets you apart from your competition. How you approach problems, how you develop solutions, and how you treat people are all things that make you unique. So send an email about it and tell people why you are special. The update email. The first time I wrote an update email and I sent it to my list was back in 2013, and I was sitting in a coffee shop feeling fairly frustrated. Saying that out loud is not as easy as writing it. Feeling fairly frustrated. The night before, I'd watched a Shark Tank rerun, and a comment Mark Cuban made was not really sitting very well with me, so I emailed my subscribers about it. I shared what was going on, what Cuban had said, and why I didn't feel like his advice was all that great for people in my position. He was talking about how you should build and have shareholders and scale and have this large business. And here I am wanting to be what used to be a very popular term. I wanted to be a solopreneur. Anyway, the open and reply rates to that email were significantly higher than any other email I had written before. It blew my mind, actually, and I think I still carry that email from when I was on MailChimp to ActiveCampaign, I think. So, if you have seen that email, it's still in the autoresponder series. But when people know you're trying to connect with them and show your humanity, you'll stand out from every other salesperson who is just vying for their time and who just wants to sell, sell, sell. As long as you tie your update email back to your overall business, it won't be out of place and recipients won't see your email as a distraction. Okay, here we are. The eighth and final type of email is the proof email. You can talk about how great you are and how amazing your products are, but at some point, you need to show some proof. Of course, you think you're great. I think you're great too. But when someone else says it, you actually become great. Your proof email could be a case study illustrating how a client implemented your product or service and had great results. Your proof email could also be a testimonial video featuring a client who is similar to the prospect you're trying to sign. Proof emails can also point to any award you've received and how you'd like to implement the wonderful solution for your prospects. So in summary, as I've said, get creative with your emails. Don't try to sell all the time. If you are selling to salespeople, we know what you're doing. And nobody wants to be sold. We don't mind buying, but nobody wants to be sold. So use the ideas that we talked about here or do what one of my clients, John Stolpe, did. What's up, John? We talked about this on a call, and I had the idea of using the 5 senses as the email. And I was kind of joking, but then we were like, well, that's actually kind of a cool idea. So John wrote an email about things he saw that reminded him of his father and the legacy his father left. And then John tied the email back into one of his services. He also wrote an email about the things that he heard as soon as he walked back into his house at the end of the day, and how, it was the sound of an ice maker or the sound of a garage door, and how it made him thankful for all of the things that he had in his life and the way he'd been blessed. And he tied that back into his stretched men's mastermind group. It was really great. So that's just an example of ways that you can implement these strategies. If you've got an idea for emails, shoot me one and let me know. Or if you've gotten one that's gotten great results, let me know. Or if you would like to see how I do my email, go to ElleryWells.com. Just click on one of the buttons, get on the email list. You know the drill. Or ElleryWells.com/awesome in case you don't know the drill. And that wraps it up. 8 types of emails that you can send to start connecting with people and build rapport with subscribers, with clients, with prospective clients, with people you're trying to reach out to, and see how it works. And if it works for you, let me know. If it doesn't, let me know that too, because I don't have all the answers. I've just done it a few times. So that sounds like a cool slogan. I don't have all the answers. I've just done it a few times. Sounds kind of mysterious too, but that's beside the point. Would you do me a favor? Would you whip out your phone if you are an iPhone user and go to the iTunes app and leave me a review? An honest one. Don't leave a 5-star unless you want to, but leave me a review, shoot me a note, let me know how things are going. Let me recap some of the links here, not all of them. If you wanted to see all of this text that we just talked about, if you want to read it, go to ElleryWells.com/rapport, RAPPORT. And if you want to see how these 4 clients of mine made over $20,000 in 3 weeks, go to ElleryWells.com/results. Results with an S, and you can see the full video. I edited it down like an hour and a half call down to about 23 minutes. And again, it's 23 minutes. You can just listen to it. So, I would suggest that you do that. Maybe it'll turn into a podcast episode in the next couple of months, but leave a review. Let me know what you think. Check out /rapport. If you want to read this, leave me a comment there. Or if you want to see the video, go to ElleryWells.com/results. So, anyway, I hope you're having an awesome day. We pre-ordered, by the way, I've never pre-ordered a phone before, the Galaxy S8, and I think I want the 8 Plus. I was looking at we went to the AT&T store the other day, and we were looking at the what is it? The iPhone 7 or 7 Plus, whatever. I was like, dang, this thing is like huge. But the S8, it's narrower, but longer. So I don't think it's actually going to be too much wider and therefore harder to hold than some of the phones that we have. So I'm kind of curious about that. I'm going to go in. Actually, I wanted it mostly because of the bigger battery. Because Snapchat and Facebook, not moments, but they're live, they're daily, they're stories, whatever it's called now. I wanted to be able to have the best battery life. And that one actually has like 3,500 milliamps, which doesn't mean a whole lot, but that's about, I think it's like 25% bigger than the S6 that I have. So anyway, that kind of does it for today. I could talk about tech all day long. You might not want to hear it, but that's all right. It's my show, and we're here at the end of the time. So anyway, have an awesome day from Round Rock, Texas. I'm your host, Ellery Wells, and this is the Ellery Wells Show, where I help you start, build, and grow your business. One last thing before I forget. I have started Growth Strategy, the follow-up, the sequel to Exit Strategy. If you want to get on that email list, if you want to get updates for that, what's going on, how things are progressing, go to thegrowthstrategybook.com, thegrowthstrategybook.com. And I think you're going to really like it. I've already got 2 interviews lined up with people who have $1 million, and one of them has a several, like $6 to $10 million business. I want to know how they grew it, and I want to share that information with you. All right, that wraps it up for today. Again, from Round Rock, Texas. You have an awesome day. We'll see you next time.